should you upgrade your device just for AI? Well, not only is the answer surprising, it's a two-pronged answer, and I'm gonna have to be addressing both of those in today's video. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and AI is the buzzword at the moment. Every company under the sun seems to be promoting its use of AI, and it's particularly loud in the smartphone world at the moment. Hot take just to start the video off, is AI a cover-up or an excuse for a lack of serious hardware innovation? It's food for thought, right? Anyway, the two ways we have to look at this are, what does having AI on your phone actually mean? And what are the minimum requirements for each set of features? Or to put it another way, can your phone that you already own run these AI tools? And for that, let's break it down further. I'm going to be talking about the top 3 big Android makers in the US where Android Police is based. To start with, the apps that you can actually download on most phones. Magic Editor is a Google product. It's based in Google Photos, but it's actually accessible on pretty much any phone running Android 8 or newer and 4 GB of RAM with the 64-bit processor. This will let you use Magic Eraser, Photo Unblur and Sky Replacer. You don't get Audio Eraser on phones other than the Pixel 8 series and 9 series though, but as a whole I think object removal is probably a particular standout feature for many, and that's something you can use on pretty much any phone. You don't have to buy a Pixel for that. You likely don't even have to upgrade the phone you already have, as long as your phone is remotely recent. Just download Google Photos to get started. OpenAI's ChatGPT is also available on many devices, basically anything running Android 6 or later. And since it's a third-party service, you don't need a specific make or model just to get it working. Just download it straight off the Play Store for a chat with probably the world's most famous AI. But right behind it, Google Gemini comes in a few different flavors. Google Gemini, the app, is available for download on the Play Store and will run on Android as long as your device is on Android 10 or later with 2 GB of RAM or more. This app gives you full access to Gemini Assistant and then Gemini Advanced, which gives you far better results, and Gemini Live depending on your subscription. The Google One AI Premium setup is $20 a month and it comes with Gemini Advanced, which is the more advanced version of Gemini if you hadn't gathered that, 2 TB of storage and Gemini in Google Docs and Gmail. So the takeaway is you can install this on practically any modern smartphone, and if you pay, you will get the more advanced chatbot. But it's not just a chatbot, you can also feed it photos for context and ask Gemini different questions based on it. When it works, it is remarkably easy and intuitive, but I wouldn't trust any AI model for any critical information, as it has form for getting things wrong. But for basic, what is this thing in the photo? It's pretty good for that and quite handy. But again, no need to upgrade your phone for this feature. Then there are first-party services like Samsung's Galaxy AI. This is stuff that is exclusive to the Galaxy line of smartphones. It comprises Circle to Search, Note Assistant for summarization, Live Translation, Live Call Translation, and Photo Assist for object removal and repositioning. There's also Portrait Studio for manipulating images with generative AI, or straight up creating something new from a brief sketch. Samsung's suite of AI tools is pretty comprehensive and expansive, with a fair few of these features being largely gimmicks and then a few useful tools sprinkled in there. Samsung's website states that the Galaxy AI suite that I just mentioned is available on the S22 series minus the FE, and then the S23 series, all of them, and then all of the S24 series, and then the Z Flip and Fold 5 and 6. So if you have the last 2 generations of foldable or last 3 generations of Galaxy S, you should get or already have these features if you're on the latest software. I have them on my Galaxy S22 Plus, but not on my trusty S21 FE. So you will need to upgrade to at least the S22 series to get these features. Next up, a good few of Google's tools, as previously mentioned, are available on a great many smartphones, but there are some exclusive ones, perhaps most notably the recently released Add Me feature. This is locked to the Pixel 9 series devices at present, with no clear indication that it will come to any of the older ones. This is where you can take a group photo without the need for an additional photographer, because you can just come back, hold the camera, and there will be a ghost of your previous photo in there to give you the group photo. This is quite handy, especially if you take a lot of group photos, but you do need the new phone for this, the 9 series. There's also Audio Eraser, which I previously mentioned. It lets you adjust and reduce background noise like the wind to make speech clearer, and this is a Pixel 8 or newer feature, so if you're on last generation you're alright, but if you're on any other phone then you won't be able to use this and you will have to upgrade, or side grade I guess in some cases, to a Pixel 8 or 9 series only. Pixel Studio is Google's first-party generative AI photo creation tool, and it's only available on devices with Tensor G4 processors, aka the Pixel 9 series, and it's pretty decent for coming up with wacky photos, though often doesn't understand the assignment. But if you want it, you will have to upgrade your device for this. Apple Intelligence, which isn't actually available at the time of writing yet, is the company's first-party AI suite, comprising of AI Grammarly sort of thing, which can proofread and rewrite text. Where was this when I was in school? There's also going to be image generation in the Image Playground, which looks very much like Pixel Studio, with Genmojis coming in that, as you can probably imagine from the title, creates emoji type things based on your text input. Image Sketch looks pretty similar to Galaxy's Sketch to Image. Take a rough drawing and then turn it into a generative image with more detail, and cleanup will essentially be the magic eraser type thing, which is, to be fair, an incredibly handy tool. And Siri's overhaul based on ChatGPT is likely to be a huge upgrade on the, let's face it, lackluster assistant that should be a far more intelligent one, so you should be able to actually ask it questions and not just get links to articles in the answers. This is essentially a competitor to Gemini Assistant. These features are coming, at different times depending on your region, to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, and then all of the iPhone 16s. You will need to upgrade to one of these if you want Apple AI, so if you have anything before this, I'm sorry. And also, since I haven't had access to any of these tools, I can't really comment on how good they are. Xiaomi, OnePlus, Oppo, Vivo, Huawei, Honor and so on all have some kind of AI in their systems because it's 2024, of course they do. But those are not being covered today, unfortunately. But then comes the question on everyone's lips. Is AI actually worth upgrading for? Now, for people who are super techie and just want the latest and greatest, I don't need to answer that because you're just going to go out and buy the latest phone. And there will always be a group of people who want the latest and greatest and upgrade every 1 or 2 years. And if that's you, you probably have access to all of these features. But for most people, my answer is this. Do you see the AI features I've talked about and go, I could really do with that? Because if so, then yes, upgrading makes a lot of sense, and a lot of these smartphones are going to be supported for 6 or 7 years, so if you upgrade now, your phone's going to be good for a long time. However, if you're only interested in the chatbot and maybe the object removal, you can get away with just downloading a couple of apps and using the cloud-based services. Some of the more useful features for me are the ones that don't require certain hardware to run. I use object removal, but none of the other AI features in Google Photos. And actually I've started asking Gemini what certain things are when I see something and just don't know what it is. And that is quite useful, but again, you can just use a standard Gemini app for that. You don't need the Google Pixel to get that kind of response. And to be fair, I do use the year of free Google Gemini Advanced that I got with the review unit of the Pixel 9 Pro, but I'm running that on my OnePlus 12, which isn't known for having heaps of AI on board anyway. To be totally honest, if I didn't have these things on my phone, these AI features, I wouldn't care. They aren't hugely transformative to how I use my phone, they aren't critical, but your opinion might be different and that's fine. The more gimmicky and novel features like image generation, browsing assist and so on are all things that you have to spend money for, and my take is that they're just not worth shelling out the extra cash for. As in my experience, you use them for a couple of days and then quickly forget that they even exist. Let me know in the comments if you've upgraded because of AI, and if you have, which phone and which feature stood out to you to justify the purchase at all. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe to never miss another upload. I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.